day when emergency was declared. So they are now taking the game to another level by saying, by trying to impress upon the people that irrespective of what the Congress say, it is they who have murdered the constitution by declaring emergency, and that is the reason why a gadget notification has been issued that 25th of June is going to be, will be observed as Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. I think the government and the BJP also wants to, to tell people that that the real narration is this, that it is the Congress party which is tinkering with the constitution, which has actually murdered the constitution once in 1975, and not the Bharatiya Janata Party. Kabir?
Sitting on the fence here, Brijesh, two important aspects. First and foremost, it seems like the opposition has hit the nail on the head because it's prompted action from the ruling dispensation. One on the Agniveer that we were talking about yesterday, and it seems like the other aspect of safeguarding the constitution, they have again prompted another action and response from the ruling dispensation. I mean, political experts out there are going to look at it in the way of the opposition leading, through their ways and prompting an action from the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Well, Kabir, the impact of constitution or the narration which was put forth by the India Alliance saying that the government wants 400 seats to alter or change the constitution, as was the narrative pushed by the India Alliance, and also supported by, by irresponsible statement of several Bharatiya Janata Party member of parliament and, deputy chief ministers, etc. So that impact we have already witnessed. That impact, that is the reason why that had such a huge impact is also resulting on the fact that the BJP was not able to get an absolute majority on their own, and that they were reduced to 240. So the impact of the narration of that they want to alter the constitution has already been established. See, the fact is that ever since the new arithmetic has emerged as far as this particular Lok Sabha is concerned, the opposition, especially the Congress party and all, are very, very aggressive in taking on the government. And if you remember, Manipur was one issue on which the Congress has been trying to corner the government for a very long time now. And the second was Agniveer. The Congress has been, a vocal critique of the critic of the Agniveer scheme launched by Modi government, and they've been saying that that the government is not factoring in all the relevant data before pushing for this kind of scheme, and that is the reason why when the entire controversy over Agniveer arose, we saw yesterday that all the CAPFs, the Central Paramilitary Forces and all, have announced 10% reservation, and also offering a lot of relaxation in terms of physical and others as far as former ex-Agniveer people are concerned. So the government is in a damage control mode, definitely. But I think the sideways they are also trying to up the ante against the Congress party, trying to blunt their narrative by making 25th June as the Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, because they feel that if they keep on pushing for it, they might put the government, they might put the India Alliance on the back foot. Remember, Kabir, if you look at the macro picture, there are several elections which are literally round the corner, from 2 to 3 months to max a year, and these are very, very important and critical elections. And if the BJP is not able to make a turnaround or improve upon their political fortune, then we know how quickly once political fortune dwindles. And in next 3 months we are going to see elections in Maharashtra. For 3 to 5 months we are going to see elections in Haryana. So this has become an extremely crucial part for the Bharatiya Janata Party, for the government, to counter the narrative. And I think this e-gazette notification has to be seen from that prism.
Right, and I mean the semi-finals are taking place today. The MLC elections in Maharashtra, I mean, they're underway. It's going to be interesting to see as to what the numbers come up in the NDA versus India bloc fight. But even as we wrap this segment up, Brijesh, the counter narrative that you're talking about, I was just going to come to that. Do you think the narrative has changed from one person, one party being the safeguarding and the sole saviors of the constitution, to now on the Libra scales, people will have to decide who is the better, savior of the constitution? Has that narrative changed? Are we leading into that area where who's the bigger savior of the constitution?
Well, I think, what will happen is, I think elections are the best judge of which party has been able to sell its narrative. And I think very soon we will be able to get whether the BJP has been able to blunt the accusation which has been put forth by the Congress party, by the India Alliance, Samajwadi Party and others, that the reason they sought 400 was to alter the basic structure of the constitution, do away with reservation. It'll be very interesting to see whether this becomes a factor in the all-important Maharashtra Assembly election. And if we'll get to know, whether the people of Maharashtra bought the line or the narration of the Congress party or of the government. But one thing is very clear, that the government is in absolute hurry. The government knows that if they are not able to arrest the spread, arrest the information which is being spread by the Congress party and others about how they want to tinker with the constitution, if the arrest is not done very quickly, then the chances of it being fatal for the political prospect of the Bharatiya Janata Party would be very much there. Kabir?
Imminent points that you've raised over here, Brijesh. Of course, the Prime Minister bowing down in front of the Constitution, how the Congress party has been aggressive on all these issues regarding with the tinkering of the Constitution, having their way with it, and then, of course, Manipur and Agniveer, all those points that you brought up. It's going to be interesting to see how the political spectrum is now going to react to this Gazette notification. 25th of June, Gazette notification. Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. I mean, the words Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, Brijesh, I mean, it doesn't have a very positive ring to it. I mean, people could come out and say, why do you want to observe a day that is called Samvidhan Hatya Diwas?
Well, if it is unsettling for you, then let me tell you, this is exactly what the government wants. The government wants to, tell people what exactly happened on June 25th, 1975, that the Constitution was murdered. It was not like, the Constitution was set aside, personal liberties were set aside, and, the emergency was declared. The government want the entire import of the field to go to the public at large, and that is the reason why this particular phrase, Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, is being, this particular day is going to be observed from now on, until and unless that e-gadget notification is reversed. The government wants people, voters and everybody at large to feel the exact same punch, or have that unsettling feeling which you are witnessing right now, which you are having right now, Kabir. And they feel that, if the people have this kind of unsettling feeling, then they'll be forced to look into the facts and as to, which party has tinkered with with Constitution, which party has tried to alter the structure of the Constitution. This is exactly what the BJP wants.
Right. 25th of June, when the actual emergency was put in place as well, Brijesh, could you take the viewers through the actual facts of the day? I mean, for how long was emergency in place? There is a constant comparison of this dictatorial image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi vis-a-vis that of Indira Gandhi as well. Could you throw some light on that front?
Well, Kabir, let me start by saying that that was the darkest day in the democratic chapter of this particular country. You cannot whitewash it, you cannot justify it, and there's no way you can compare what happened on June 25th, 1975 to any other event which has taken place post or before that. There has to be absolute no doubt about it. Personal liberties were set aside. People, and especially freedom fighters who actually helped India, helped this country gain freedom, or were dominant voices, people who were part of the collective conscience of the country, they were all arrested and thrown behind bars because the then Prime Minister felt that she's going to lose the election, and that is the reason why the press was gagged, people were arrested. It was absolute draconian period, perhaps the darkest 2 years of the democracy, of the democratic structure of this country. So there has to be no two way that any comparison can be made with any other government, irrespective of what they're doing or not. Because remember, every powerful government since time immemorial has certain, they behave in a certain fashion. When you're not dependent on anybody else for your survival, for your support system, then you behave in a particular fashion. That is absolutely all right. But what happened on June 25th, 1975 was an aberration, and I hope that aberration never ever happens again. So there is absolutely no comparison whatsoever with any other thing.
Brijesh, wouldn't you agree that this is not about actually, my point of view is that this is not about 1975 to 77. This is actually about current politics. This is actually about Bharatiya Janata Party doing poorly in this Lok Sabha election and losing on the constitution debate. My understanding is that when they are saying that they are going to celebrate it at Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, everyone knows that's a dark chapter in our democracy. Everyone knows that Indira Gandhi, in order to pursue her power project, to ensure that she does not get thrown out of the party because the Allahabad High Court judgment went against her, she imposed emergency and she in fact suspended habeas corpus. But I think the larger issue is, I think Bharatiya Janata Party feels that the only way they can corner Congress party on the issue of constitution is by going back to 1975. Why else they would talk about or take out a notification that on every year on 25th they are going to celebrate Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. VP Singh could have done it, Chandrasekhar could have done it, Gujral could have done it, Atal Bihari Vajpayee could have done it, Deve Gowda would have done it. Why didn't Prime Minister Modi do it in the first 2 tenure? I think it is desperation on part of Bharatiya Janata Party. And 2 things I would like to add, Brijesh. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
One is that when we were doing the story on Rahul Gandhi and Smriti Irani, Brijesh, there was a tweet which came from the IT department of Bharatiya Janata Party, and they again used the word Balak Buddhi. They again use the word Balak Buddhi on him. And now, when the session is going to happen, Brijesh, they have again gone to create a sort of a wall between themselves and the Congress party, that in no way that both of them will cooperate or the Congress will cooperate with them. It just goes on to show that the BJP has not changed its work pattern. They want to give this, create this image that they are governing from the position of power. And when this notification is out, it's about the problem of the current politics. And in the current politics, when Congress says that this is constitution, they have nothing to show. And today it's the absence of that, the constitution debate, that the BJP thinks that going back to 75 will solve their problem. I would say it's going to vitiate current atmosphere rather than actually protect their interests. Because you see, what is going to happen, Brijesh, is that this will ensure that there is no conversation between Congress and BJP. That's what I personally feel, Brijesh.
Well, this is exactly what I was saying, before you joined, Karthikeya, that the reason why Bharatiya Janata Party has brought this is to make sure that they first arrest their decline as far as in terms of the competing narratives about, whether you want to tinker with the constitution and who actually has tinkered with the constitution. The reason why they want to go back to 1975 and always go back to it several times is because they also want to rejig the memory of the current generation. Many in the current generation have absolutely no idea what 1975 was and how badly the kind of mess we were in, and how the suspension of habeas corpus, tallest leaders and thinkers and writers and all being bundled inside jail. They want to bring out the horrors of 1975 to 77 to impress upon people, to tell people, the young voters, which is a co-constituency of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, about what exactly happened during that time, and why, when Congress says that that it is the BJP which wants to tinker with the constitution, basically they are lying. They want to bring out the horror in its absolute full import. And that is the reason why, this Samvidhan Hatya, the word Hatya usually we don't see, but the Samvidhan Hatya Diwas is being written with a purpose to get the exact kind of impression, exact kind of reaction it would do whenever anybody looks and says that, oh, today is Samvidhan Hatya Diwas, when it's June 25th. The second thing is, there is also thinking in the side, in the inner sanctum sanctorum of the government, is that, that if they allow any kind of leeway to the Congress party, or if they allow any kind of, latitude or placate Rahul Gandhi, or, walk that extra mile to make sure that, there's a degree of bonhomie between the two parties, I think it will be seen or perceived as weakness, as the government climbing down from its stated position and reaching out to the Congress party. This is one impression I think the government does not want to give. And that is the reason why they don't care about, what happens. They still have numbers on their side. We don't see, JDU or TDP or any other, LJP deserting the government as of now. And this is the reason why they do not want to give this impression that since the BJP got 240, now Modi has to climb down to reach out to Rahul Gandhi.
There is also another thing. There is also another thing. It's easier. Indira Gandhi paid the price for imposing emergency, but the same electorate actually sent Indira Gandhi back to Lok Sabha with 350 plus seats. So Indira Gandhi fought elections. Indira Gandhi did not run away. Indira Gandhi paid the political price. It's like a tag on the Congress which they will endure for rest of their life till the Congress party is alive in the political system. But Indira Gandhi was back. People voted for Indira
Two and
Gandhi.
a half
That's
years.
what.
People started understanding, and she understood herself that people not appreciated of that particular step.
My view is that what she did in emergency was a big no. But even in emergency, when the elections happened, you have to see how the electorate behaved. It was like this emergency impact did not cross the Satpuras. Half the South voted for Indira Gandhi. But that's a different debate altogether on what happened after emergency, because emergency in itself was draconian. And I can say this because as a child of the parents who had to run here and there because of emergency, I grew up with those children because they couldn't come back. So I understand when people say emergency. Emergency means people lost their jobs. Emergency meant that you didn't have a normal life. But then to use the word emergency when the real objective is to counter constitution war, it means that there will be the BJP has given up the politics of any sort of consensus building. It's as simple as that. It's constitution versus constitution. Something which happened in 1975 is being revived in 2024, that too after you lost a chunk of your mandate. This is the reason. So there is no, it was not a part of an academic exercise. It's a political decision. And it is for this reason, Brijesh, it's not going to yield any political results. You were saying something?
Karthikeya and Brijesh, both of you. Shaina NC, BJP leader, joins us on the phone line. Let's quickly take her opinion as well. Shaina ji, how are you looking at this latest development? Of course, let me quickly read out what Jairam Ramesh has now said. He's saying it's yet another headline-grabbing exercise in hypocrisy by the non-biological Prime Minister, says which will go down in history as Modi Mukti Diwas, and we're already talking about the Samvidhan Hatya Diwas to be celebrated. I don't know how those two words go hand in hand actually. Celebration of Hatya on the 25th of June. Shaina NC, over to you. Your viewpoint.
Look, lakhs of people were jailed without any reason, and the voice of the media was also suppressed. Maybe we have all forgotten that what the emergency was. The government of India has decided to celebrate 25th June every year as Samvidhan Hatya Diwas. I think that this reminds the youth and the younger generation that we don't want to have such black days. And don't forget that June 25th, 1975, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi showed her dictatorial mindset and actually strangled the very soul of Indian democracy by imposing an emergency in the country. So I think that this day will remind us of the immense contribution of those who suffered, who fought, who went through inhuman pain during the emergency of 1975. And the emergency is a period of our history which needs to be remembered in the days to come so that there is no repeat of the same.
Karthikeya from Newsroom, my question to you is, I don't think anyone has any doubt in saying that emergency was the worst chapter in India's democracy. There is no debate on that. But the doubts are being expressed that this notification has come in the wake of the loss that BJP suffered in Lok Sabha election, and particularly when it came to the constituency narrative. Your comments, madam.
Is that question for me?
Yes, madam. That's the question for you, that it is because of the constitution narrative that this notification has come.
Look, the constitutional narrative also I'd like to set on record few points. One is that the constitution has been amended 106 times. Of the 106 times, we know that 80 times it has been amended by the Congress party. The Prime Minister has celebrated the constitution, preamble to the school students so that they know that what has been the immense contribution of Baba Sahib Ambedkar in the largest constitution the world has ever seen, and that is of Bharat. I think that those who spread conspiracy theories must realize that of the few times that the Bharatiya Janata Party has amended the constitution, it has been for reasons like triple talaq, abrogation of 317, Nari Shakti Vandan, CAA, and progressive vision plans which are imperative for a prospering India. Those who are spreading this constitution narrative, I want to just say that the emergency was the darkest day in the history of India. And why Amit Shah ji and Honorable Prime Minister have talked about June
Debate on
25th?
it. There is no, there's no debate on it. When you say the darkest, it is the darkest. I agree with you. My question was that isn't it stemming from the current politics? For example, madam, and I will not disturb you after that. When this India alliance was announced, the Bharat Shabd immediately came in. You know, when one of the dignitaries was here, the Bharat Shabd came in. India, that is, Bharat is there, all of us knows it. All of us are proud of it. But when the whole constitution narrative happened, Shaina ji, this notification has happened. I don't find it coincidental, ma'am.
Look, the coincidence may be for you as a journalist, but for us as citizens of this country, when lakhs of people were jailed without any reason or voice, when the media was suppressed, are these not questions to be asked? And the government has decided to remind us of the contribution of those who fought against this dark period, those who suffered inhuman pain, those who were part of the emergency of 1975. So I don't think you should correlate both, but having said that, since you did raise the issue of the Constitution, let me please say that the Constitution, Prime Minister Modi has always maintained, can only be amended and not changed. So for those who are spreading conspiracy theories, don't try to correlate the two, because what you did during Indira Gandhi's regime is probably the worst phase of Indian history.
Thank you, Madam. Manikam Tagore also joins us, MP Congress Party from Tamil Nadu. Manikam, thank you so much for joining us on on News9. Your opening comments on the tweet of Amit Shah on this Samvidhan Hatya Diwas.
It's only laughable tweet, and we can say that Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi and the BJP all are rattled because they are not, they want to have a diversion, they want to divert from the real issues of India presently, particularly the Save Constitution, Jai Samvidhan and Save Constitution has gained a lot of traction in the ground, and people have understood that their 400 Par slogan was to change the constitution, and the people of India had voted them out from 303. They were reduced to 239, and with the help of Nitish Babu and with the help of Naidu Garu, they are running a government. We all know that they want a diversion from the real issue of the NEET controversy. Now 25 lakh students are in pain. NTA examination system has just flawed and it has got broken. Crores of youngsters' lives have been destroyed. MSME sector has completely lost its momentum. There are crores of youngsters who are waiting for jobs. Yesterday also in Bharuch, we saw that for one hotel manager's post, thousands of youngsters were fighting for that, for an interview. This is the way the India's real problem exists. From there, they want a diversion. Usually RSS trains the ABVP as well as BJP members to how to take the diversion. They are masters in diversion. Therefore, this is an attempt for the diversion, and people are not going to accept this kind of diversion. These diversionary tactics will be defeated again. People of India are very clever, and they think that they can fool the people of India. It won't happen in Maharashtra and in Jharkhand and in Haryana. People will again teach them this lesson. In Parliament, 22nd July, their budget will be a failed budget. It will be a super corporate budget only. It will not be anything for the common man. We all know that they want a diversion from the real issue. Therefore, only they are doing this thing. We reject this kind of diversionary tactics.
Well, Manikamji, we've all read what, Mallikarjun Kharge, Congress president, has tweeted out. His tweet is particularly about the budget, nothing to do with the political setup over here. Now, of course, we were discussing here in the newsroom that is it coincidental or is the timing suspect? You know, Congress is coming out with this safeguarding the constitution narrative. And it seems like at this point in time, the BJP has come up with its own Gazette notification. But since I'm speaking to a Congress leader, yesterday the notification on Agniveer's 10% reservation in terms of constables, that came out. Agniveer is also been a major poll plank for Rahul Gandhi. He's been speaking to a lot of, Agniveers and ex-Agniveers as well. But now with this new people are saying that the Congress party has prompted BJP to take these two new steps on Agniveer and now on Samvidhan Hatya Diwas as well. These two shifts in narrative, is that going to hurt the Congress party's own, agenda? Are we going to see the Congress party go back to the drawing board once again?
It's a very good question, brother, but we have to understand that people are in India are wise enough to decide. We are just amplifying their voices. We are not voicing somebody else, some big corporate voices. We are amplifying the voices of a common student, common youth who is waiting for the Agniveer, whose lives has been destroyed because of Agniveer. We are raising the locomotive engineers' problems because it's a common problem. There are lakhs of locomotive engineers pilots are facing this kind of problems. We are speaking about common as problem. And we have to understand that the government wants to divert from that problem, will not be accepted by people of India. There is no need for us to go to any drawing board. We are with the people, we raise the people's issue. We will continue to raise the people's issue only. Parliament, where our leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi ji, will be the voice of the people of India, whose real problems will be raised in the parliament. They won't answer it. We all know that they won't answer the real pain of the people. They don't think that they will divert 1976, they will speak, then 52, they will speak about 62. They will go to 60 only. They will not speak about our present crisis. They will not address our present crisis. They will not address the common pain. That's the issue.
Manikam-ji, one more question to you, because, we've seen it time and again that the BJP is quite clever and can, capture the imagination of the entire nation. Now, will the BJP, with these two new moves, be able to wrest some sort of control from the Congress party? Because, like you pointed out, Congress has been talking about the people's issues. Rahul Gandhi, I remember, said that this is not the Congress party's manifesto, it's the voice of India. Now, will the BJP, with these two fresh new moves back to back, be able to wrest some sort of imagination? Because let's make no bones about the fact that the BJP is clever enough and it knows the task at hand and has been able to capture the imagination at a large level time and again as well.
We all know that this kind of conspiracies to divert people, this wolf politics won't work. People issues when it is going to be raised in parliament, people are concerned about their livelihood, their children's future, their houses, their living standards. We are addressing that only. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is speaking about their problems. He is not speaking about some other issues which is not related to common people. We stand with the common people. We
I have a different take. Manikam, Karthike here.
Manikam, go to people.
Manikam, am I audible to you?
Yeah, Karthike.
You know what I feel is that, this is more, I personally feel, there is no doubt, I have to say this, everyone opposes emergency who believes in democracy. That was a dark chapter in Indian history. There's no debate. There cannot be any debate about it. But I think that this is more in response to the constitutional narrative and the poor performance or unsatisfactory performance of Bharatiya Janata Party in Lok Sabha election. And this is like a coincidence. When opposition organized itself around the word India, the Bharat Shabd was being used, the Bharat word was being used. So when the constitution narrative is getting heavy, this new notification is out. But what I fear is that, what is happening is that the bitterness this is producing between two systems is very unhealthy for democracy. Yesterday I did a debate, when, leader of opposition is called Balak Buddhi in parliament, and the Congress official handle say that, there is a Bal Buddhi on the other side, and the Prime Minister gets trolled. So the danger is that this sort of a competition, don't you think, is very bad for our democracy? Manikam.
Who starts it? Who started in the floor of house about Bal Mukti? Mr. Modi. It is the RSS mindset. This is the problem with this country, because we were just, when they were calling this kind of names, we were just silent earlier. We thought that this is because they are behaving not in a decent way. We should not do the same thing. We should not go to their level. Now it is not like that. Whatever ball they throw, we will hit that ball. We know think that this is going to be the game whichever style they want 2020, we will play 2020. They want one day cricket, we will play one day cricket. If they want test match, we will play a test match.
But
It
you
is
see,
not going to
Manikamji,
be
Rahul
India
Gandhi has
team
also
is
played a
going
cut
to
shot.
just-
Rahul Gandhi has also played a cut shot, Manikamji. He's written out that very generous tweet for Smriti Irani for when, for vacating the bungalow and the kind of, abuses she was facing as well. So there are cut shots as well. Samne se tez ball aa raha hai, you're hitting it out of the park as well, but sometimes you're, making the right kind of cut shots as well.
So we have to understand that is our leader's voice, his orders will be kept, and we all know that our other social media friends will restrict themselves from these kind of attacks, because when our leader has said a word, they will all obey by that.
Okay.
We are very clear that we want a decent politics. Who is doing the indecent politics in the floor of the
fair
house?
enough, Manikam.
Modi.
There is no debate on certain things. There is no debate on decency. There cannot be debate on emergency. I really thank you, Manikam, for joining me. Kabhi, we have to understand a couple of things here. One, there is no debate on emergency. That's the darkest chapter in Indian democracy. There is no debate on it. It's undebatable, indefensible.
No historical anecdote will tell you otherwise as well.
It's as simple as that, and that's the position of News9. There cannot be any debate on emergency. But we also have to understand that there are certain things which happened in this country. Indira Gandhi didn't run away. She faced the electorate, and electorate got her back to power one. She didn't run away. She wasn't in Dubai. She then subsequently got assassinated. Secondly, if this was something part and parcel of the agenda, that's the first thing that the government should have done in 2014.
Right.
Or that's the second thing the government should have done in 2019. The government has done it in 2024 because it lost the constitution narrative. Now you can go to town and say that the Congress spread lies about them, and Congress said things which were not really true. But there are 1,000 other things which the Congress party can also say that the BJP spread about them, which was not true. So I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to say that there is a pattern. When the India word got announced, there was a Bharat word which came in. So now when there is a constitution war, when the book is being shown, they're saying that, well, you destroyed the constitution. So the larger issue is the implication. What is the implication of this? The implication of this is that the discourse is going to get even more vitiated. Even today, as I mentioned to Brijesh, that after that Rahul's tweet, he was again referred as Balak Buddhi. So I don't think that there will be any common ground, and it is a very sad day. मैंने तभी बोला था कि भरा पेड़, लदा पेड़, डालियां झुक जाती हैं, और जो पेड़ तना होता है उसकी डाली में कुछ नहीं होता. But in Indian Parliament there is no middle ground right now. There is no middle ground right now. जीतने वाला हारा अपने आप को समझ रहा है, जीतने वाला अपने आप को हारा समझ रहा है, and is getting more aggressive. और जिसको मैंडेट नहीं मिला है वो सोच रहा है वो चुनाव जीत गया, and he is also getting more aggressive. But the point here is, in this emergency, it's less about emergency and more about the constitution debate. The constitution debate is not going to die, because ultimately the remaking of BJP did not happen on upper caste vote. Remaking of Bharatiya Janata Party today has happened on the subaltern Hindutva, which is non-Jatav Dalit in Uttar Pradesh. That is how BJP engineered Jatav, non-Jatav. And Bharatiya Janata Party also worked on non-Yadav OBCs. So they also understand the power of the caste arithmetic. That is why the losses are the most in the scheduled caste seat. And this is the reason why this emergency narrative and the constitution narrative and the red books in parliament will stay.
You know what? Brijesh pointed out very important and pertinent points. Modi 3.0 government began with the change of display pictures, with the Prime Minister bowing down in front of the Constitution. You rightly pointed out that timing is in fact of suspect, because the narrative of the Constitution, safeguarding the Constitution, it seems like the BJP was on the back foot. We've seen it time and again, and this is what I'm going to be interested to see. We've seen it time and again, the BJP wrests the control, the imagination of the larger nation. Will it be able to do so this time around with the two steps that they're taken, Agniveer and Samvidhan Hatya Diwas? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. At this point in time, both the main parties at loggerheads, ladies and gentlemen. Many thanks, Karthikeya, for joining us with the insightful inputs. Brijesh as well, to all the BJP and the Congress leaders. We're going to slip into a quick commercial break here. Top Developments continues on News 9 Live. Keep it with it.
Hey, careful, huh? My daddy got it from abroad. Hey, disaster! How will you pay for the loss now?
In stock market, you should take risk as per your capacity and knowledge. Trade in options very carefully.
Wow, Dikra! Absolutely perfect! Take risk with full understanding.
सोच कर, समझ कर, invest कर.
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
At least 121 people died in a stampede during a religious gathering in Hathras, Uttar Pradesh. But this is hardly the first incident of its kind for the country. In fact, India has seen over 20 different such incidents in the last 2 decades. But do you know what to do should you find yourself in one? Here's how to survive a stampede. This is what happens in a stampede